Do you turn me off for now?
I'm going to turn you as soon as I get that.
All right.
Sorry,
No, you're fine. I can hear
I have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow.
I am a little slow. Testing 1, 2. Davey Gillum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Davey Gillum Show, sponsored by Exterior Home Solutions. If you have storm damage or just need someone to come out and look at your roof, give our friend Jeff Hedrick a call, 865-524-5888. We're live tonight from Gondolier here at the Walmart Shopping Center off exit 122 in Clinton. Coach, good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me fill in here for Coach Terry.
Yeah, thanks for filling in.
Coach Terry's out on campus doing our home soccer game senior night there for the Lady Mavs. We wish them luck as they face Union County. Coach Terry's there, so I'm filling in for him for tonight's show. Coach, let's get started. Talk a little bit about Carter in last week's game, and we'll just go from there.
So, huge region game for us. 3 region games in a row. Big win for us in the sense of us, Gibbs, and Carter. We're all fighting for who's going to shake out at that 1 seed right now. So getting a win there, going 3-0 in the region, being a leg up on the competition, really at the end of the day is going to make it between us and Gibbs in a few weeks for that 1 seed. At the end of the day, that's our goal, to win the region 7 years in a row. We'd like to go undefeated in the region and have 7-year undefeated streak in the region, which is just a phenomenal feat for the program and the boys. But, you know, just overall getting that win, being in the driver's seat, it's a really good feeling right now with this team and what we're trying to get to. We come out in the pregame, beautiful weather, a little wind blowing. Next thing you know, just torrential downpour. Just 30 minutes of just coming down.
I stayed in the car. nice and dry. I waited the rain out.
Yeah, I got to say, if I wasn't the head coach, I'd probably been there myself. But, you know, it's still football. I think it added a little energy to our team. You know, we made the decision we weren't going anywhere. We sat there and did the pregame in a torrential downpour. It's freezing cold. Carter left, and I think you know, we won.
Kind of set the tone.
I think it set the tone for the night right then. That,
yeah.
You know, and just the kind of kids we got, they responded to that in the pregame. We had a lot of energy in the pregame. I mean, you can either feel sorry for yourself or just embrace it. And our kids embraced it. They were juiced, and we were ready to go for that game started.
Well, it started early. You know, when I got down there and I was nice and dry, and I think I saw Coach Lambert first, and he was soaking wet. And
yeah, there's some life lessons to be learned. I'll never go on a away game again without taking a travel bag. There wasn't a T-shirt to be found, so it was a long ride home.
Yeah, so let's get started there with some highlights, some big nights from some of our players. Like I said just a minute ago, you know, the game started off just with a bang there. I think we Zay hit Evan Pite with a big pass there to get us right down the field. Just overall, Coach Chapel had a very aggressive game plan. Our team's starting to get more comfortable with the whole scope of the offense. Zay's getting more comfortable with the verbiage of it, the play calls, putting it all together with all the motions and routes and play actions, and there's different kinds of play actions we have, so it's not as simple as just, hey, it's play action. There may be 10 different versions of play action. So he's getting comfortable with that, and the receivers getting comfortable. O-line's coming around. Kids are getting healthy. Starting to see that progress as an offense. But, you know, first play of the game, Coach Chapel goes right for the jugular, calls a play action, double move play. I'm not sure where we started, 30-yard line, but we get it down to the 5 on the first play. And just overall from the offense, just huge nights from a lot of people. Zay threw for 391, I think with just a couple of incompletions, a few touchdowns. Nick had another 3 or 4 touchdowns. Bradley Strickland had big night off Bradley. Yeah, that's a few years back.
Yeah,
mind you, a lot of Bradley though. 2 really good players.
Yeah, his Bradley's younger brother Trent had a
big night on both sides of the ball.
He did really big night on 160 yards. You know, so we come out in the PAL game. We didn't get him included in the game, and that a lot of that's on us. He's too good for us not getting him involved. Coach Chauvel every week has made a point to get him in the game, and man, when the ball's in his hands, good things are happening for us. So huge game for him. Xavion James, another huge game. Nick Moog looked closer and closer to the All-State tailback that, you know, we want to ride all the way to a championship again. So O-line was good. You know, they put a lot of people at the line of scrimmage. We got bodies on bodies. Pass pro was good in the run game. We had lanes. You know, I think Nick rushed for maybe a little over 100, but very few carries. So
a bunch of touchdowns again.
A bunch
I know the last 3 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks there. He came back to Fulton game, right?
Yeah,
he
he's
played,
been
man, he's had like
since he's
10.
been back. It's 4-3-3
Yeah.
or 4-4-3 every game. So
Awesome.
just yeah, but it was good just to see him fresh. Had a little more pop in his step, looked a little more comfortable. Just getting back to game shape. Coming off a major injury. Even though Nick worked so hard to be healthy and go through spring and summer, with us playing him both ways, there's no way to completely get game shape till games start happening. And then to have the setback with the bad sprain and some stress fractures in his foot, set him back a few weeks. Good thing is we're back on pace to get him, back to, just firing on all cylinders by the end of the season. He already looks great, looked like his former self, and I'm just excited the direction the offense is headed, and it ain't just one player.
Yeah.
Dalen Cole had a big night. Basically, every kid that stepped on the field for us, Evan Pott, all of them guys played big and played clean. We can go ahead and get to some of those highlights and see. We'll see right to start the game. Coach Chadwell gets aggressive, calls a play action and a double move route, and he has Xavion James take the safety.
I love this move
out.
right here by Evan.
Yeah,
little
gypsy
stutter
dude.
there. Yeah, another 30 yards after that.
Yeah. So Evan's a good player. We had him on the show early in the year, but Evan's going to be a really special play for us.
Just
here
sophomore here at Anderson County High School.
Next play, just hammer it downhill. O-line gets some movement. Nick knows what to do when he gets close to the end zone and just bowls in there.
I was going to say that a minute about Nick. Early in the game, it's like people want to hit him, but it's a lot like his brother when his brother played here.
Yeah.
After about 2 quarters, that gets old.
Yeah. Here we got Xavion James. Little reverse play. Coach Chow was really aggressive early, putting our kids in position to make plays, and they produced. Right here, I can't remember if this is RPO, but basically Carter covered the play initially, and you're starting to see Zay get comfortable, even when maybe the play is covered. Zay making things happen. So
somebody up front.
Yeah.
Is that Grayson or who was that?
Grayson.
Railroaded
Really
somebody.
all of them. But there's that kid right there made a business decision. We get Nick go through the line, and he got a guy free to hit him, and I can't tell if Nick made him missed or he just said, it's not worth it and got out of the way. But either way, yeah. Nick takes
Love
it to
this
the
play
house.
right here. Watch this. Whoop!
Yeah. These are some of the things that make Zay special, things that are outside the box from what me or Coach Chadwell can give him. His escapability and being able to throw from every platform. And the more comfortable he's getting in the offense, the more people are getting to see just what Zay's capable of. This is the business decision play right here. No, this is just where Nick's dragging him. But the big thing there is just great movement. Great movement by the OL. Nick getting downhill. Another play, getting Zay out on the perimeter. Big throw to Xavion. But I don't know if we had 2 or 3 incompletions the whole game.
There's LaRue getting through there real
Great
quick.
job by the OL getting the stretch. Great job with LaRue with the speed pushing it, and then piercing it after he got the stretch. And here we got a 20-yard out like it's just a handoff. It's so easy for Zay.
People don't understand. That's for a high school, that's a tough play right there. And y'all make it look so easy.
And kudos to the O-line, because when Zay gets to be comfortable and we can just show off his arm, it's easy to be a good football team. Here we got a nice little fade route to Trent Strickland. Great throw, great route. That's a super catch. He basically turns a 360 at the end to catch that ball. And when you're covered, you got to make those kind of plays. But the difference in scoring big points and kicking field goals is people making plays like that. Here late in the game, Cody comes in and he throws 2 strikes back to back, one right down to the goal line. Basically, we called the offense off at that point and tried not to score anymore. But the offense was doing well.
And look at that defense getting to the
if
football.
we can, we'll pause the defense highlights, talk a little bit about them before we get going. But defense come out and was really just as impressive as the offense.
Yeah.
Carter on both sides of the ball, very aggressive by nature, and sometimes it's even unorthodox. But it puts a lot of pressure on you as a staff and a unit to be able to be sound, because on offense they bring all these pressures, and you've got to pick it all up and find out where the open spot is every play. And there's a lot of times it's hard to complete balls on air. So to figure all that out every play and play clean and quarterback finally supposed to go with the ball is a big deal. But same thing on defense. They're very aggressive, sometimes playing fast, and it can put you in hard positions. And they depend on lightning strikes. And, at the end of the day, we're 49-0. And we had a couple of minor hiccups here and there. But overall, none of them got to the end zone. And anytime we got them tackled and made them play another 3 or 4 plays, we were able to turn the tide. So, big thing, we were a lot more physical than them up front. Again, our D line dominated. Grayson Bradshaw, Eli Nelson was awesome. Taylor Davis was all over the place. Our linebacker showed up. We'll see some highlights here in a minute, but Cody Miller making big plays on the perimeter, running inside out. And our DBs, the nature that they play, throwing the ball down the field, they get tested a lot.
Yeah.
And they really come through.
Well,
Trent had a pick. Can't remember if we had another pick, but I think they had maybe 1 or 2 deep balls.
Yeah, the scary part about a team like Carter is they have that potential to have that electric play, but your guys had so much pressure and was rallying to the football all night. I mean, making open field tackles that they never could get out of it.
When they had a positive play, it was a lightning strike type thing. It wasn't, well, they got some momentum and here they go. It was they squeezed one through that made them make us miss. Maybe by formation they got an edge or something like that, and we quickly adjusted. But overall, couldn't have played a whole lot better. But one of the things you said was what I was most pleased with our progress. We got to the football, and whether it's on jet sweeps or fast screens or whatever, our D-line's chasing flat down the line, linebackers chasing, and those running backs and receivers that are cutting back are getting hammered, and nobody likes to do that either. So overall, just a great performance by the defense, holding up, and maybe we can go ahead and go to some of those highlights and look at it. So you can see right off the start, I think we get jet sweep number 5. He's a really good football player. We held him in check all night. We set the edge, and again, we got that flow inside out, and our D-line got off blocks all night. This is kind of like what they like to do. They were wanting to throw a go route to the X, but we got pressure quick and corralled. Again, handoff inside, contained set by the edge. DL's dominating inside. Wasn't a whole lot of room for them to go anywhere. Here's a play of one of those fast screens.
I mean, that looks like it just, they're going to have some success with that, and then it just closes it really quickly.
One guy does his job by setting the edge, and he's got nowhere to go except inside.
Gracious.
Yeah.
Eli Nelson.
Eli Nelson, man, he looked like somebody shot him out of a cannon. He had several of those plays. Here they get a shot off. Trent Strickland and Dalen are fighting who's going to get it, and Trent comes down with it. But, for the most part, we had guys in the right position all night. Here we drop in coverage, give them a chance to get it off. Again, we got 2 guys there when the ball's landed every time. We're fighting for that one. One of those guys should have come down with it. Another play, a little cross-scissor action, outside zone. Nick Moog, just as good on defense Friday night as was offense. I was encouraged to see that as well. And right here, they run speed ops right at him.
Coming up.
Nick makes him pitch it, then he retraces, and Izzy comes out. I mean, they only had 1 yard to go, and Izzy hits him right at the perfect level and just chops him down for no gain. Send some pressure right here. Now, one of the worst calls I've seen in a long time. Somehow we got a pass interference call when we're still breaking on the ball, but great coverage right there by.
A little anticipation there, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little mercy. Taylor Davis showing up there. I mean, you can see as soon as the ball snapped, our guys just got more aggressive, more physical, and more confident as the game goes on.
Oof.
Yeah. And it was a long night for the Carter backfield. And, as bad as we made them look, they hadn't looked like that in the other games.
Yeah.
They had some solid wins against Gatlinburg Pittman, who I thought was a good program and played solid against other people. But they had scored points in just about all their games. So for our defense to come out, and, it is a high-risk, high-reward offense for them. But usually in that type system, they're going to get 2 or 3 lightning strikes a game, and to hold them completely scoreless, it was a lot of good momentum for us going forward, and a lot of confidence we needed.
I tell you, I think the end of the night ended 49-0.
Yeah.
Moved to 3-0 in the region, right where we want to be.
Yeah.
That October 20th game with Gibbs at AC is going to be a huge night.
It is.
That's what's going to probably decide the region. There you see the standings again.
Yeah, so right now they're 2-0, so we're up by the win. But from what I've seen on film, Gibbs will win out, and it'll probably be between us and Gibbs at this point. I've seen South Dual and Carter and those guys go at it, and it'll be between us and Gibbs. And Gibbs looks like a solid football team. That's not going to be a gimme by any means.
Yeah, I mean, even last year we won a state championship. That game against Gibbs, they come out blazing there at the first start of the game.
They got a good sports community, good community, similar to ours.
Yeah.
They got a lot of pride in what they do, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. Kids are tough and work hard, and their coaches do a good job hitting them in good position. And just a little bit of film I've got to see on them, they're well coached and a little more disciplined in what they're doing you know, some of the other teams in our region right now. And it's going to be a spirited game. They're no fan of ours, and you know, we need that championship. We're no fan of theirs. And,
Yeah.
It'll be a tough ball game. So it'll be an exciting game. But I think the big thing for us is we got two big non-region games. We got Clinton this week, and then we got Knox West next week. As good as there is in Tennessee right now.
Yep.
And we got to be healthy when we get to Gibbs, because that can change things as well.
For sure. We're live here from Gondolier on the patio off exit 122 in Clinton. It's the Davey Gillum Show. We're going to take a quick break and be back to talk to some of our coaches and players. Enjoy the break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Anderson County head football coach Davey Gillum, and I want to tell you about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions, East Tennessee's first choice in roofing. They've been servicing East Tennessee for over 20 years, achieving a 4.9 rating on Google reviews, and are listed as a platinum contractor by Owens Corning. Financing is available. I invite you to learn more about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions on their website, exteriorhomesolutions.com, or give them a call at 865-524-5888.
At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we believe in turning moments into memories. From life's milestones and growing families, Ford is there every step of the way. How about a new 2023 Ford Edge all-wheel drive ST, 42,545. 2023 Ford F-150 Super Crew, 53,398. 2023 Ford Escape all-wheel drive ST, 33,939. Local you trust? A new Ford your family can afford. Ray Varner Ford, your East Tennessee Ford dealership.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
We're live here at Gondolier on the patio here in Clinton off of exit 122 for the Davey Gillum Show, sponsored by Exterior Home Solutions. Call our friend Jeff Edrick at Exterior Homes for your outside needs. Coach, we welcome Coach Matt Sloan to the show. Coach has been with us for a few years, and we're excited to have him. How long have you been with us?
13th year.
13th year.
Yeah.
So a little backstory. Coach Sloan, originally from Grundy, Virginia.
That's right.
All right. Even though claim Kentucky a lot of times.
Well, it depends. If they're ripping Kentucky, I'm from Virginia. If they're ripping Virginia, I'm from Kentucky. So
Coach Sloan, when I was coaching Pikeville, Kentucky, Coach Sloan was a football player there. Played DL, defensive end?
defensive end, yeah.
Defensive end. We're 3-3, so sometimes you play the little backer, I
Yep.
believe. But met him there. Really good football player. Wrestler, part of the state champ wrestling team in Grundy, Virginia, where wrestling's king.
Oh,
there.
yeah. Won 12 state championships in a row there. So.
Wow.
Single-handedly responsible for
Oh, no. We had some dudes that whipped my tail in the room on that team.
But Coach Sloan, got to know him, got to be close. Him and my brother were same age. They both were teammates. I was a coach there. The Lord worked it out over time where I think I'd been here 1 year, maybe 2 years.
I think 2 maybe.
Maybe
yeah.
2, and our former head coach up there called and told me Coach Sloan was looking to get back in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you had family originally from Clinton?
Yeah. Well, my uncle's owned an engineering company in Caryville for 30-something years now, and Mom and Dad moved down, and he started working for him, and so a lot of my family was here.
So Coach Sloan came in, I believe Coach Chow would come about the same time or a few years after?
1 year after.
1 year after. But it was really getting Coach Sloan in, Coach Chadwell in, that really helped me in the transition of, making the program mine and our culture changing, and it was a process. But the more guys that I got in that were like-minded, the faster that went. You know,
Yeah.
the Bible says, "In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established." So, and the way I thought is the way they thought, and getting all them guys in and us preaching the same thing and teaching the same thing on discipline and culture and standards, really was helped us get to where we are. So he's been instrumental in every step of this. Also, along the way, we started a wrestling program, and
I tell you, man, that's when I think of Matt Sloan, we were actually one of the assistant principals and I were talking just yesterday about Matt and how lucky we are to have him, not only on the football side, but man, what he's done in the wrestling team. And you talk about Anderson County, man. You obviously got football, volleyball, wrestling. Those 3 sports are really rolling right now, as are our others. But man, those 3 are really in that wrestling program. State champion a few years ago.
Yeah.
And just every year they're sending kids to the state, competing for state championships.
Yeah.
And he's doing a great job.
Just as an Anderson County community guy, we just to be honest, we really hadn't got from wrestling what we hoped we would get in football.
Yeah.
And it's not wrestling's fault. At the end of the day, our kids aren't tough enough to stick through the whole off season of wrestling.
Yeah.
But what is encouraging is they're building the same kind of infrastructure we got in football. They got a youth wrestling program. A lot of kids are out there doing something, competing and being active that may not be doing anything if it wasn't for the wrestling program. So, just as a community guy or our community's health and school health, wrestling is a really good program, really good thing going on in Anderson County right now. Coach, you want to talk a little bit about what all you got going on there?
Yeah, we the biggest thing going on this year is we moved from big school to small school, so we're hoping we're going to be competitive at the state level, maybe
As a team, not
as
just
a team.
individuals.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We'll
You've
definitely
been
have-
competitive with individuals
Right.
at the state level for a while.
Right, yeah, and you alluded to or mentioned Stone winning a state championship in big school. That was huge for us. There's a lot of programs that never had a state champion in wrestling.
Well, I know our football program was just as happy as a wrestling program to see it happen. Have a football wrestling kid.
Well, that's the best wrestlers are the guys that play football,
Sure.
and I think vice versa, honestly.
Well, I do too. That's one of the reasons we were wanting it to happen.
Yeah.
It's been fun over the years that we've had wrestling. I'm not a wrestling guy. I didn't know a lot about wrestling, but now just having conversations with Coach Sloan and learning about wrestling, and I love going to those matches. But what he spoke on, when you're competing in the large school, and technically we're not. We're a good sized school, but when you're talking about the Maryvilles and Science Hills and Dobbins Bennett's of the world, and you miss 2 or 3 weight classes because you can't fill them, and they get points and they haven't even wrestled anybody. So being in that class where it fits us, I'm excited about what.
Yeah,
what's gonna
I
happen
think
with
we've
that.
got there with baseball and basketball now.
Yeah.
But football, those numbers, they matter.
Yeah.
Where unfortunately our non-conference, we love big games. I love playing Bearden and Powell for the excitement and experience. But week in, week out, it takes a beating.
Yeah.
Our program takes a beating because of the number of kids they're playing compared to ours, and the amount of reps those kids have to take in a game. Just injuries occur and those type of things. So there's no doubt when we get into 4A, the best of the best 4A, you can see where the numbers are right, that there's a difference as opposed to the best 4A and the best 6A. Just numbers, they matter.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a huge deal for the wrestling program.
Yeah, we got a lot of good kids. We're looking forward to seeing how they do this year. And
So you're getting to the point now where you're not just training a kid this year, where you've had kids in the program that are real wrestlers.
yeah, that's it. Been wrestling 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Been with the middle school, and that's
When
really
you started, every year you're training
Oh,
everybody.
Yeah, it was a restart every year. Sometimes because we had a lot of kids. Wrestling's tough, and a lot of kids don't make it through a year, much less a whole high school career. So.
Right.
Well, Coach, you are involved with our defense. You and Coach Lambert and Coach Cott and some other guys are really heavily involved in our defense. Our defense is really flying. We just saw the highlights. They're flying around like maniacs. Big game this week. Talk a little bit about our defense, kind of your role, what you do on the daily, and even talk your role during the games, because a lot of times people don't see your face on sidelines.
Yeah.
It's because you're up in the sky.
Right.
So just talk about those things. And
Usually in the hospitality room.
Yeah, if they got food in the press box, that's an added bonus for sure. But No, I coach the defensive line, and you know, most of the work I do is with them. You know, but we all have input. Coach Lambert's a really good guy to work with in terms of, you know, listening to what other people think about situations, and we kind of come together on a consensus on all our stuff.
As far as
and
game plan
feel good
goes,
about-
and
yeah,
that kind
game
of thing.
plan wise, definitely.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I'm up in the box trying to, you know, see what formations we're getting, you know,
Personnel.
what personnel is, stuff
What's
like
going
that.
wrong.
So are you communicating with Lambert then in the, like, obviously what you're seeing and
Yes.
what
Yeah.
calls or what might work,
Yeah.
et cetera?
Yeah, definitely. Personnel is a big thing. If a team's going to do that, we try to get the right guys on the field based on what the other team's trying to do, and then formations, and you know, also trying to find, you know, is somebody, you know, not doing what they're supposed to do on a certain play, or
Maybe a
you know,
weakness in
something
the
like
offense
that.
where you can get a
Well,
good
maybe
blitz
it's a
in.
weakness on our
Yeah,
defense
it
because
could.
we got to get out.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's
It
happening.
happens sometimes.
That happens.
Yeah, happens sometimes. So.
So, coaches, as far as I talked a little bit about the defense, we watched some highlights already. You know, when you guys get together, staff, overall, how'd y'all feel about the performance Friday night?
Played really well.
What were some strengths and some things we still need to work on?
So strength-wise, you know, we were in a 3-down for a lot of the game. You
Right.
know, just you know, letting those 3 DL guys kind of control the line of scrimmage, and
Yeah.
which is impressive that Nelson and Grayson and Taylor were able to do that.
Yeah, 3 good ones. And they played well all year.
Oh yeah, they have, and getting better every week feels like. But we were happy with the fact that we could handle the run game, and sometimes even get some pressure on the quarterback with 3 guys.
Yeah.
So that was a bright spot for us. You know, definitely just as far as stuff we need to work on, we just need to continue to get aligned properly every play and make sure we understand what we're doing on all the calls, and so.
As far as early in the year, and we stressed it last week in practice a lot, missed tackles.
Oh,
How'd
yeah.
you feel like we did there?
Yeah, tackled pretty well, I thought, against Carter. We got people to the ball, you know, numbers to the ball, which is a big deal.
And we need those.
It's you know, one-on-one tackling in the open field may be the hardest part of the game.
Yeah.
So, but we did well against Carter, but we got to continue working on that. And
So we got Taylor Davis going to be on the show here in just a few minutes.
all right.
So I'm on Taylor every week. He's been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Had a great year.
Yeah.
Plays so hard, so fast. But
Mm-hmm.
because of it, a lot of times he goes for the kill every time, and always breaking down and missing some tackles. How did he do Friday night?
He did much better. You gotta kind of direct Taylor, you know, channel that energy a little bit, because he does. He plays hard, plays fast. You know, one of the things is when he's a 5 technique in our Okie, we just got him slanting, so he can go make plays fast, and he's had a great year doing that,
Yeah.
getting to play ball.
You know, it's got to be, and I remember back when I was coaching doing the baseball, seeing where a kid starts their freshman year and then where they come to. I just think about Taylor, you know, where he was at. Not that he was a bad player, but, you know, just the amount of progress. That's
And that's the key to it. You want to have a program that provides avenues of structure that kids can progress. We don't want them labeled as they've made it or not coming out of middle school. You know, some kids want to work, some kids don't.
Yeah.
And kids that want to work, you know, we're going to give them the opportunities to get better. And there's a lot of kids like Taylor that we've had come through the years that, you know, were mediocre, and some of them didn't even play in middle school, and have worked their tail off and found a niche to be good. And, you know, like you're saying, it's obviously rewarding to see Taylor doing so good. So, but going forward this week, we got a quarterback that runs around.
Yeah,
We're going to have to get him to settle down a little bit this week.
That's right. We got to maintain our gap integrity. They got some pieces that are a little scary for sure.
Yeah, tailback's really good.
Yeah.
Very agile.
Hard to bring down.
So transition into that. Give a little overview of Clinton, and what are some things from a defensive side we got to try and control to be successful.
Yeah, you mentioned the back. I mean, it almost feels like they give him the ball and say go wherever there's grass, you know, and
That's scary.
He'll reverse field, come all the way across, and he's got great balance, and he's tough. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
When he is blocking in the passing game, he'll go up there and tattoo you, you know, and so he's a physical kid. and he's fast. He can run, so he's got all the tools.
He's one of the better backs in the area.
I think he is.
You know, him and Nick and the kid from Bearden are all three different, all three really good.
Yep, I agree. And then, you know, the quarterback, he creates back there. He'll drop back, and, you know, if his first read's not there, he's going to run around and find somebody. Does a good job keeping his eyes downfield sometimes. And
now I think the Keith kid's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, I know him and his dad a little bit. I've got a kid, he's a quarterback, so in the off season you'll be on a little bit of a quarterback circuit going to camp, so I've got to spend time with him here and there. He's a good kid. I think he's a really good quarterback.
He looks like he plays tough. You know, he's a tough kid. He got hit in the Powell game.
Yeah.
Came right back in and played right after that. You know,
yeah. Now, you know, I think he's a winner. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks we'll see all the way to a state championship. So easy to root for kind of kid too. Right. He's a good boy. So obviously we want to win that game, but and get after him. But other than that, he's a good player. Probably one of the best we'll see all year.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people might not know this, but Coach is a really good math teacher on campus. You know, I got to throw that in there.
Many people did know that.
We're lucky. We're lucky to have him. He does a good job.
He does.
Statistics. He teaches a lot of our senior level math classes.
A lot of 7 a.m. classes.
A lot of 7 a.m. classes. He's there bright and early. You know.
I think he's got an NIL deal with Hardee's too.
Yeah. He gets there early and makes sure, you know, all those seniors have to have that senior level math.
I probably got a brown bag in the card. You know, I should have brought it out.
Senior level math for graduation, and he gets those kids through it. Does a great job. So we're very lucky and blessed to have Coach Sloan. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Again, we're here live at Gondolier out on the patio. Come see us. We got some players: Zay Hall, Riley Wolfenbarger, Ty Murphy, Taylor Davis signing autographs, eating pizza, shoving their face, getting ready for tomorrow night. Join us, Davey Gillum Show here at Gondolier. We'll break for just a minute, be right back, talk to our offense coordinator, Coach John Chadwell.
Hi, I'm Anderson County head football coach Davey Gillum, and I want to tell you about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions, East Tennessee's first choice in roofing. They've been servicing East Tennessee for over 20 years, achieving a 4.9 rating on Google reviews, and are listed as a platinum contractor by Owens Corning. Financing is available. I invite you to learn more about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions on their website, exteriorhomesolutions.com, or give them a call at 865-524-5888.
At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we believe in turning moments into memories. From life's milestones and growing families, Ford is there every step of the way. How about a new 2023 Ford Edge all-wheel drive ST, $42,545. 2023 Ford F-150 Super Crew, $53,398. 2023 Ford Escape all-wheel drive ST, $33,939. Local you trust? A new Ford your family can afford. Ray Varner Ford, your East Tennessee Ford dealership.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
We're live here at Gondolier in the Walmart Shopping Center out on the patio. Beautiful evening here as we, beautiful view of I-75 North. The Davey Gillum Show, sponsored by Exterior Home Solutions. If you have store damage or just need someone to come look at your roof, give our friend Jeff Hedrick a call, 865-524-5888. Coach, good friend of yours, Coach John Chadwell here, offense coordinator. Mavs have been putting a lot of points on the board all year, really every game. I think our lowest scoring game is 21, but a lot of points on the scoreboard. Coach, glad to have you. Good to see you. Coach Gillum, light him up.
So
Everybody else does, might as well. I get it works at home.
So Coach Chadwell, he's been on the show before, but I think most people in the community know him. He's been around here his whole life. So 11th year with the program.
11 of them, yeah. I think it was 2012 started.
So, like I was saying with Coach Sloan, Coach Showell, huge in getting him in here. Like the things I think, things I believe, getting Coach Showell in here changed things overnight. You know, not only does he think and believe the same things, at times he's more passionate and vocal about it than I am. So there was nowhere to run for kids and opportunities to do things the wrong way. And really it was rough for the first few years trying to build culture here, but it got easy once him and Coach Sloan and all of us got in here together. But he was probably the biggest tipping point in moving that because of his passion and his discipline, and huge in our program where it is. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without him. So he's been huge and instrumental in this whole program, our state championship, us getting to this point. A lot of people don't know what goes on in Anderson County football when the season ends. You know, it's really just getting started for us. We're working with the youth and 7-on-7 and SAQ training and those type of things. It's a little easier for me being the head coach, name on it. I've even got kids that are going through a lot of that stuff, so it ain't as much of a sacrifice for me. But he's been right there with me through the whole thing, and he don't have any kids, you know, so he just cares about our community program. So, you know, obviously I always want to let people know that, you know, he's a huge part of what we do here. We wouldn't be here without him. But
you know, it is a lot easier on the sidelines this year. You know, he's up top and you're down. Y'all switch roles. You know, you're a lot easier to control. You're talking about his passion. You know, I know Freeman last year and myself and Coach Lambert at times would. That sucker, he's got some passion when it comes to taking up for his team.
That defensive pass interference just kills me. I just go ahead and tell you, I don't like it.
The referees are thrilled he's back in the box. I know that
He's
much.
as far away from him as possible.
Yeah. I saw my dad get thrown out early in life, so it kind of just keeps on.
Listen, I like it. I coached the same way.
I was on one of the teams his dad got through out.
He said he'd been thrown out bigger and better places.
So, John, obviously, offense is starting to hit its rhythm. You know, you really started the season with a big scope and with new players, so it was hard to really focus in on who we were going to be because there's a lot we didn't know.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, one of the battles you fight all the time as a coordinator, whether it's offense or defense, and you know this from calling plays, it's like what is too much and what's enough, and you try to find that balance. And most of the time, if Coach Sloan just left, he'd tell you, I'm on that too much side a lot, and sometimes that's detrimental to you, especially with new kids in. So it was a journey trying to figure out who we are. But
in your defense, you know, Zay Hall don't come in till late June, early July.
Right.
We had been 100% triple option gun.
Little gun option up to that point, yeah.
And we didn't know how that was going to turn over, how long it would take to get Zay acclimated, things like that. So you can't just burn the ship overnight.
No, and you know, there's always, you fight through that adversity, and you do got to figure out who you are. And I think probably more than anything, it's just step by step. And telling the guys just getting better each week. I think probably the biggest thing is that we just never lost confidence.
Yeah.
And that we were continuing to fight.
But I think that goes back to the other part of building the culture over the years where, you know, we play hard. We do what we're supposed to do. We play for each other. We're not going to be finger pointing in the good and the bad or any of those things.
Right.
So the bad's going to come.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's like you said too, right there. I mean, if fingers point, it's typically coaches are going to point them out themselves and take responsibility. And I said that to our players after the first two games. I know Coach Downs, you know, a lot of points, like those first two games, we should have had a lot more. We left a lot out on the field, and their failures on the field were my failures as a coach. And really, you know, as we moved on, our players got more confident and more comfortable. I got more comfortable because it was new for me as well, coming from the defensive side, seeing the game differently and having to see the game differently and think about it differently. But it's continued to get better every week, and more than a large part of that's just our players, man. We got some ball players that know how to play, and it's about getting them involved.
So Coach Chow, he's taking a lot of ownership there, but he's being a lot harder on himself than the reality. Reality is it takes time for new players to get comfortable, no matter what they were asked to do. But in the transition, he's got to identify what certain players can do and what Zay's comfortable with, and groom a young O-line where we got two new starters and things like that. And if anything, he was just a little ahead of the kids.
Yeah.
Now, after a few games, the kids, they get the scope. They understand what he's saying. They understand what we're trying to do. And it's just organically cleaned up in the process.
It
and,
is.
you know, we've looked clean the last 3 weeks. And I think when we play clean football, we're going to be a tough out for anybody.
There's no doubt. As long as we take care of the football, and you know, and I know, I'm a huge believer. Everything starts up front. So when your offensive line can protect the quarterback and you can consistently run the football, good things are going to happen. And then from there, it's just at what point are you going to make that big play? Because
you're pretty aggressive last Friday night,
Yeah.
coming out the gates going.
I don't like calling games in fear. Now I probably should have had a little bit more of that in the first couple, but that's not who I am. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it, you know, with kind of like you guys said, with some of that passion and belief of, you know, this is the right thing to do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's not going to stop me from continuing to attack.
So my question is, you know, obviously Coach Gillum has a big offensive background, offensive mind, did a lot of the stuff last year with calling plays, was up in the press box. What's your role now?
Me?
On that, and like, how do y'all work together? And
I'm
like,
retired.
He's not.
You standing there and look pretty, right?
Yeah, that's not getting paid well for that. No, I'm trying to transition into more of a head coaching role. We've got a lot of young coaches that we're trying to groom to come in and step in and be productive, and you know, some of that, you know, in building a program, we're trying to, kind of like I'm saying with Coach Chadwell, building a broad scope, and there's sometimes in building a big infrastructure, there's some losses and some things that have to go on to build some of that, and you know, so I'm involved, but you know, I still try and help with the quarterbacks, but John will tell me what he needs me to do in a quick game or a drop back or something like that, and I may have some input that I try and give him what I'm seeing or with coverage or things like that. But as the most part, I'm trying to be a head coach, trying to turn into a guy that's helping the whole program and trying to groom more of our young coaches where they take ownership, and our program can be bigger than me and John and Coach Lambert and Coach Sloan, where, you know, we've got 12 good coaches that want to be here long term.
Yeah. So Friday night, you're just, you know, but most of your stuff in the headset's just what you see from field level, you know, coverage or
yes, you
anything
know,
you think might could help.
You know, I told John when he was going on the offense, and you know, that's a tough thing to do, but it really stresses the confidence I have in John to go from winning the state championship, and this has a lot to do with the group of kids we had last year, but I really believe the offense we had last year was one of the best things I've ever seen in high school football.
Yeah.
And you know, so many, you know, you had Walker Martinez for a lifetime, and Gavin and Moog and that O-line, and Bryson Val's so many pieces and so much chemistry that we were able to do some special things. But to move from that and then just hand it over to John shows the confidence I had. But at the same time, that's quite a challenge on his part, because if anything goes bad, you know, that's just the way people are. They're going to say, well, why ain't Gillum doing it? Why is John doing it? You know, that kind of thing. But when I look at John, I don't. Failure's not an option for him. I don't view it as he could ever fail. So I never worry about that. I know that things are only going to get better. But at the same time, I told him when he's taking it over, I don't want him looking over my shoulder. I've got complete confidence in him. Everybody, I mean, there's no two good coordinators in the world that do everything exactly the same.
Yeah.
But for him to have confidence and passion in his offense, he can't be second guessing whether I agree with the call or not. You know, if it, I mean, there may be a time I get on there and say, hey, I think we can do this or that, but I'm not going to get on there and say, hey, cut that out. You know, you know, that's not who I am particularly. Now, if it wasn't John, maybe I would, but that's just the confidence I have in him, and I think that's manifesting itself with our team in the season.
I think he's told me to come down there and waller it in with him a couple of times.
Yeah, but those are usually when we're winning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, but he he said a lot of good things about me. And Brad, did you get all that recorded? Because I'm going to need a copy of that. But I don't think there's probably a better offensive mind in football than Coach Gillum. I mean, it's just from a quarterback development standpoint to schematically, it's just unbelievable. So I lean on him a ton, and like I have no problem. Like we've known each other for forever, so I have no problem with that. Hey, give me your drop backs you want, give me the quick games you want. Go work on them. I'll work on the inside stuff, and we'll go attack it.
Yeah.
And I just 100 complete trust in what he's wanting to do.
At the end of the day, we're both passionate about everything we do, but our objective isn't him or me. It's we want to win.
Yeah.
We want to build a program. So, now we're close enough, like brothers, where we can get chippy, but we're still at the point in our lives where we're not going to let it go much further than a sharp word, because we both know how we are, and we can get out of sorts quick.
I say it, and I'll continue to say it. We're very blessed with some exceptional coaches. Our program, is second to none in that area.
But I think it starts with we've got great people in our school. Really, it starts talking to you, but I think you can find teachers, you can find coaches, you can find principals, but it starts finding good people, and some good godly people that want to do things right. And I think we can teach anybody football, but people that want to do things right, that's different.
Yeah. And I'm going to jump on that as well. I can't imagine working for a better administration in my life than what we have at Anderson County. I mean, I remember last year, Bryson Dow goes off and gets an interception in the state championship game. First guy hugging my neck's Ben Downs.
Yeah.
And he's just as excited as we were about winning the state championship. Travis Freeman, Jason Chambers, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
There was a lot of tears shed, and they wasn't just football coaches. There's a lot of people got skin in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Coach, thanks for joining us. Look forward to watching that offense this week down across the river. We're live from Gondolier out on the patio here at the Walmart Shopping Center. The Davey Gillum Show, sponsored by Exterior Home Solutions. We'll take a quick break, and we're going to talk to a few players and then talk real quick about this week's matchup with our rival Clinton, and then we'll see everybody tomorrow night.
Hi, I'm Anderson County head football coach Davey Gillum, and I want to tell you about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions, East Tennessee's first choice in roofing. They've been servicing East Tennessee for over 20 years, achieving a 4.9 rating on Google reviews, and are listed as a platinum contractor by Owens Corning. Financing is available. I invite you to learn more about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions on their website, exteriorhomesolutions.com, or give them a call at 865-524-5888.
At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we believe in turning moments into memories. From life's milestones and growing families, Ford is there every step of the way. How about a new 2023 Ford Edge all-wheel drive ST, $42,545. 2023 Ford F-150 Super Crew, $53,398. 2023 Ford Escape all-wheel drive ST, $33,939. Local you trust? A new Ford your family can afford. Ray Varner Ford, your East Tennessee Ford dealership.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
We're live here from Gondolier for the Davey Gillum Show. Coach, introduce our special players here we got tonight.
All right, first we got Zay Hall, quarterback, Riley Wolfenbarger, corner, and wide receiver. Start with you, Zay. Zay, just keep getting better every week. I think leading the state in passing yards, 391 Friday night. Wow. And the numbers, Coach Chow, I don't know if you remember, I think it was something like 14 to 16, 16 to 19. I mean, only 2 or 3 incompletions, just some magical plays. How are you starting to feel in Coach Chowell's offense?
I guess better every week. I mean, like he's still putting new things in about every week though. But I mean,
he's not going to let you get too comfortable.
Nah. I mean, it's starting to get a little simpler, like as we go.
But as you get comfortable, even when he's adding though, you're building on something.
Yeah,
it's not brand new.
No,
it's not.
Right? Yeah, I always feel like everything like we do, it always has like a tag off of it or something.
Sure.
So nothing's really like brand new, but it's just like his offense, the way he calls offense and everything. It's just good. It's a good way.
How about chemistry? I'm seeing more chemistry with your receivers, even your running back Nick Moog. Looks like all you guys are starting to get on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, I think my receivers, like, we just got timing and stuff down like that. I mean, like, at the first 3 games, I mean, you could tell, like, it just wasn't, chemistry-wise, I mean, we wasn't together all the way.
Yeah, and there's no way to really work that out in the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, I got here with, like, a month left to go. So, I mean, there wasn't really a lot of time. The only receiver I had chemistry with was Xavier, and that's because I've been with him for 2 years. So,
So Riley, on the other side, had a little bit of the injury bug over the last few years, to say the least. But a good football player, been in everything 7-on-7 for the last few years. Come in right before the season starts. I don't know if you broke it, tore a ligament in your thumb. What exactly happened?
Tore the ligament.
But it knocked you out all preseason. You're jumping back in once the season got going. Once again, having to work your way up from the bottom. You've done that. Now back on the field. How you feeling? Starting to feel confident?
I feel great. I gotta get used to the new play calls on defense, but it was pretty easy learning them. So.
How about catching balls from Zay with that thumb? Is that dangerous?
Yeah, it's a little dangerous, a little scary now, but.
Chest that one time with the bruise.
Yeah, a bruised chest off a slant, but yeah.
All right.
So what's my question is, you know, I've worked at Anderson County for a long time, but I didn't play at Anderson County. What's it like playing at AC on a Friday night?
It's new for me too. I mean, like, the atmosphere is just crazy. Like, I've never been in an atmosphere like that. Running out of the barn and all the fireworks going off, it kind of gives me chills sometimes. But like,
and you ain't even got a real good one yet.
No,
I mean,
not yet.
Good.
Get one
maybe we got
week.
Science Hill, and then who's our other Seymour. So
Knox West will be rolling in.
Knox West will be a big one.
Chill bumps will be big.
Gibbs, the next one, Gibbs, that'll be a big one.
Yeah.
Then you obviously, you know, get the playoffs. Man.
How about you, Riley? Riley, you've been here for a while. How's it? You still get the chills coming out of the barn?
Yeah, I grew up in Campbell County, so I didn't really get to experience all that. But the fireworks are little, like, I've never seen anything like it, and you can't ask for better fans. They're always supporting. Go to away games, have more fans on the home team, and you can't ask for anything better than.
Yeah, you can't.
Just jealous. I'm jealous. Just what they. I mean, it's just awesome, man.
Yeah, so much goes into it. And again, we can do a whole show on all that, but it is. And I try and stress to our kids not to take it for granted. You know, I played here in the '90s, and it wasn't nothing like this, but they took pride in it. And when I went and played at East Tennessee State, I almost felt like it was a step down from the way they took football compared to the way we did here at Anderson County. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get Taylor and Murph in here.
Had the pretty boys. Now we're getting the.
And
these are ones.
Anybody that's important listening, Zay is working on an NIL deal right now with Coach. So anybody with connections.
I should have brought a cup here. Put it on the table.
He's really doing a good job fitting in and just getting more comfortable every week, and you know, just sky's the limit for him. You guys,
Coach, you
can hold him up.
You got Taylor Davis here and
so with Taylor
Ty
Davis,
Murphy.
Tom Murphy, both junior football players. Both of them started every game this year. Both of them played both ways. Both of them sticking out, doing great. Top of their class in that junior class. We give Taylor a hard time, but man, he's got a motor. Physical kid, loves to hit. You know, we do got to confine him a little bit and make sure we get him to do a responsibility occasionally, but man, he's all over the field. Taylor, what's it been like for you this year?
It's
First year really starting.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big step up, you know, on the offensive side of things. Never really been an offensive lineman per se. I've always been the defensive side of things.
We felt like you did all you could not to get on that offensive side of the line during the summertime.
Yes, sir. It's not something that like was my go-to thing, but now that I'm doing it, you know, I wouldn't really trade it. The bond that I've got with Ty and the other three, it's something different.
It's probably the most special unit in all sports.
Yeah, it's more of a brotherhood. You know, we all have each other's backs, and it's not really, you know, anything I'd trade it for.
All right, Tabo, same thing. In there, you know, last year you got injured right before the season, and then kind of played catch up. Now you're back in that starting role, having a good season. What's it like on building that chemistry with a new group this year?
Well, it's just, you know, it really, get a lot of friendships, Get a lot of friendships, and I've been trying to do everything I can, like always trying to fight for them, stick up for them. And I know once I get home, I got a lot to live up for because my brother, if I don't do good, he's going to yell at me. I mean, I just got to go out there.
You got your first 15-yard penalty Friday night time.
Yeah, that was something to celebrate about with my brother. He gave me a pat on the back, good job,
Yeah, because Ty, you've always been a soft-spoken, kind of laid back, not really wanting to say anything.
Yeah.
Tybo has one of the harder jobs. They're all hard. I mean, those linemen, man, they grind, a bunch of plays. They're in the trenches there. But when you're snapping the ball and then have to get a block, the offense really can't start and go right, can be off time if that snap's not good. So that's a key part of the offense.
Yeah, it is huge. I can't remember any bad snaps that have cost us. And in the style of offense we run, timing is everything with the quarterback, whether it's a quick game or getting in a quarterback running back mesh. So any little thing, really cost us execution-wise, and it's been a non-factor all year. So that's quite a compliment to Ty, his poise. Because there's a difference doing that on air or doing it in practice and then doing it in the game. So just a phenomenal job, and we've played some studs. I mean, we've played some great schools, so that gives us a lot of confidence going into the playoffs. Well, guys, thanks for coming in. We're running a little short. We got to get Coach Chavell back in there and close it up, but these guys have had a great year. I mean, a great night tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
No missed tackles, right, Taylor?
Yeah.
All right.
Coaches, we bring Coach Chavell back on. We're going to shift gears to our matchup this week versus Clinton. Get Coach Chavell in here to talk about Clinton.
So we've been out of playing them, I think, 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
2 years, so we're back in.
Yeah.
I think we played him Coach Chief's first year, out the last 2 years. So this group he's got right now is a really good group of kids, a lot of talent. He's did a really good job getting some talented kids in there. Coach was talking about the running back. He's awesome. Quarterback's awesome, one of the best around. Several really good receivers. The Marble kid playing strong safety linebacker is one of the better defenders in all of East Tennessee right now. So it's going to be a tough game. I think Coach Sloan talked a little bit about what we got to do on defense, containing the quarterback, containing the running back, limiting the missed tackles, and the plays outside of the play. That's really what we're scared of. And then, just jump balls, some tall kids. So I think we know what we got to do. Executing that's going to be a different story.
Coach, what about? Now I'll ask him. On the offensive side of things, like what do we got to do to be successful, and what helps us win tomorrow night?
I think offense is typically about yourself. So you got to take care of the football, number one, right? You can't have turnovers. Number two, you got to dominate the line of scrimmage. And then, as I told the kids, there's 3 E's involved in all the games, and it's emotion, effort, and execution. Emotion, you got to kind of control it. Execution and effort's got to be relentless. So just every play is a life of its own, and you got to be relentless attacking what your job is on that play.
I agree. I think at the end of the day for us, right now, the progress we're making, the players we have, the name of the game for us is not getting caught up in emotion. If you can control your emotion, it can help you. But what we can't do is get into an emotional thing that don't have anything to do with football and trash talking and things like that. We got to focus, use our emotion, do our jobs. But I feel confident in the progress our coaches and kids are making. If we just play clean football, take care of things that we are able to control, turnovers, penalties, not getting behind the chains with holds, things like that, I like our chances in any game right now. So that's what we're stressing, take care of things we can take care of, play hard and execute. And if we do those things, I like our chances.
It's Clinton, Anderson County, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, down at Clinton. Come out, support your Mavs. If you can't make it out, we are on Rivalry Thursday tomorrow night. Show up early. There are going to be a lot of people there. Coach, we look forward to it.
Do you know if they're doing anything to get tickets online or anything?
No, it's all at the gate.
Shout out to Half Day.
See you tomorrow. Go Mavs.
The boys.